If you listened to my last episode on Some People Don't Heal, you know we went deep, unpacking the unconscious blocks that keep us from moving forward. So today I want to take it even further into that strange, often invisible moment where someone does begin to heal. They finally say yes and they start moving and clearing the energy. They feel lighter and then they say, stop. Sometimes abruptly, sometimes with excuses, sometimes with silence. So, why do we pause our own healing the moment it begins to work? Today's conversation is all about the two parts of self and how the aspect within us that wants to heal is often met with resistance by the part that fears it. So we'll unravel this gently through the lens of Carl Jung and Alan Watts, the language of energy therapy. So Carl Jung often spoke about the persona, the mask we wear in the world, and the shadow, the hidden self that lives beneath. In healing work, and I often see two parts emerge: the higher self, the part of you that knows your truth, that pulls you towards wholeness, and then the sub-self or the protector self, the part of you that learned to survive, that says, don't change, it's dangerous. The inner protector isn't wrong. It was born to help you to get through something. But the problem is, it doesn't always know when the danger has passed. So when you begin to feel peace, this part gets loud. When joy arrives, the sub-self whispers, wait, this is unfamiliar. Maybe it's not safe. That's when the pause happens. That's when the session is canceled. The course goes unfinished. The practices stop. And Alan Watts once said, the real you is not a puppet which life pushes around. The real, deep down you is the whole universe. But to access that real self, we must let go of the smaller, and that's terrifying. Because for many people, pain became personality. They bonded with the trauma, built an identity around grief, and they became the one who always helps or the one who never cries. So when healing begins to dissolve these roles, it can feel like ego death. You might not be able to say it out loud, but somewhere inside there's a whisper, if I heal, who will I be? And that's where the sabotage begins. In energy therapy, we see this as a split field, a division in the current of your being. Your conscious intention says, I want to release this, but your field says, no, not yet. And the result is energetic contraction. And sometimes it shows up as physical illness flaring up after a session. Sometimes it's an emotional outburst, or feeling exhausted, or dreams full of archetypal symbols, the unconscious fighting for space. And Jung would say the psyche is trying to what's been exiled. And as a healer, my job isn't to force it. It is to invite the protective part forward with compassion and to say, thank you for your service. You've done well. But now we need to bring in the higher self, the one who doesn't just survive, but thrives. And this is why healing must be slow, safe, and sacred. You can't rush a part of yourself that still feels unsafe, but you build trust through consistent energy work, clearing without pushing, somatic presence, bringing attention back to the body, journaling and dialoguing with your parts, and sometimes just simply resting after a release. In polarity therapy, we use the 5 elements to map these parts: And often this protector self holds strong earth or fire imbalances rooted in safety, fear of collapse, or the need for control. Working with these elements helps stabilize the system so the sub self doesn't feel like it has to be in charge all the time. You reparent that part, you don't push it away. So if you've ever felt like you were making progress only to freeze, to pull back, or to retreat, I want you to know that's not failure, that's a pattern. And patterns are meant to be witnessed, not punished. The moment you pause is the moment your protector needs a seat at the table. And you ask it, what are you afraid I'll lose if I keep healing? What do you need from me to feel safe right now? And what would it take for you to trust this process? And when you dialogue with stuckness, instead of resisting it, it softens, and the healing, it begins again. The journey back to yourself will ask you to shed identities, integrate your shadows, and befriend the parts of you that once saved your life. But I promise you, what's waiting on the other side of that resistance is freedom. And if you'd like support bridging these inner selves, I invite you to explore the tools inside the Back to You app to receive the energy clearings, the polarity yoga, the soul-based meditations to help you hold your whole self. Till next time, remember, you are not broken, you are not shattered, you are complex, and all parts of you are worthy of love with the deep respect